What's going on, guys? This is Vince with vshred.com, and in today's video I'm going to show you one of the biggest chest exercise mistakes that's killing your gains. Like I said, today's video is going to be about one simple chest exercise mistake that I'm going to show you how to fix so that you can really start to develop your chest a lot more, because obviously whenever you're doing any kind of chest exercise, you're also going to be working your shoulders, and I think that's why a lot of people they'll get into flies or presses or whatever kind of chest exercise, and they'll feel it a lot more in their shoulders, or their shoulders will be a lot more pumped, when really you're supposed to be trying to get all that contraction, that emphasis in your pec muscles. And so today's fix is gonna show you how to take your shoulders out of it. Obviously, you're not gonna be able to completely isolate your chest when you're doing any kind of adduction across your body, or even when you're bringing it back out. It's gonna work your shoulders a little bit, but minimizing the activation in your shoulders and maximizing how much emphasis you're putting actually into your chest is going to help you build your chest by overloading that muscle more than anything else, even though we're still gonna get a little bit of activation from both muscles. Now, before I get into this, I will say, if you are trying to build some pec muscle, some chest muscle, some upper body muscle and strength, you can't just focus on fixing a couple of exercises and expect yourself to magically pack on a couple pounds overnight. You have to be making sure that you are eating the correct foods, hitting the right macros. If you never heard of macros, I highly suggest you take my free macro calculator. It's right in the description below this video. It'll tell you exactly how many carbs and fats and proteins you should have every single day to hit your goals faster. So check that out, and let's get into this tip. All right, so getting into this tip, I am just gonna let you know I'm going to exaggerate this a little bit. I'm gonna be doing something where I'm actually going to be using a pin to show you a way to get your chest to be the primary mover here and not feel the burn in your shoulders. I'm not expecting you to bring a pin to the gym and do this exact tip, but I am expecting you to take this idea to the gym with you, because the mistake that I see made probably the most when I see people doing, especially flies, I think is the most common one, but also with presses, is it generally starts with going too heavy. You want to be able to control the weight that you're doing, but beyond that, even if you're not going too heavy, and this just could be a sign of someone not completely understanding what 100% perfect form is, which is completely normal, but then when they get to the top, you find them really rounding their shoulders towards the front. And so they're back here and they're getting a nice stretch in the pec, and then they're bringing it towards the front. And if you were to the side of me, you'd see my shoulders are way in front of my chest. That's what's making you work your shoulders so much and taking your chest out of it, because they are farther forward than your chest, and you're pushing with your shoulders by protracting your scapula, by rolling them forward. And so what you really want to focus on is completely reversing that. You actually want your chest to be out farther than your shoulders, not only at the back, but also at the front. You want your chest to be farther forward than your shoulder line, and that's going to minimize the amount of shoulder activation that's going on and maximize the chest contraction. And so the reason that I'm using a pin for this is because I want you to focus as if you are squeezing a pencil or a pin in between your shoulder muscles on the back. So I don't expect y'all to bring a pin to the gym to do this, but I'll show you what I mean. So I'm gonna bend over and I'm gonna put this right here, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to roll my shoulders back and I'm gonna squeeze, and that's going to stay right there. And then now, obviously this is exaggerated, but just to give you an idea, now I'm gonna grab this weight, and then as I go into this fly, I'm going to try to keep that pin back there as I squeeze this weight forward, and this is going to allow me to have my chest out the whole time, keep my shoulders back, and really get a better chest contraction. And now, it's obviously going to be pretty difficult to hold that pin there the whole time, because that is overly exaggerated. You don't have to squeeze as hard as you can to do this. Obviously, a little bit of those shoulders coming apart is going to be natural, especially when you are bumping up weight. But just keeping that in mind when you're going to do flies or presses, and not just trying to push this weight forward with all your might and end up rolling your shoulders forward and taking your chest out of it almost completely. You really want to focus on driving those shoulders back, squeezing, and then keeping them back as you bring this weight together, and that's going to help you maximize the contraction of your pecs rather than your shoulders. So try this out. Click the thumbs up button below if you found this useful and you're going to use this. That lets me know that you want to hear more about quick tips to work your chest or your back. And also comment down below what you want my next video to be about, and hopefully I can make that as well. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.